I would have had to leave like now to go up there. I know I had to go when I went to the store yesterday. I was like, that's what I wanted was colored pencils. They have them over there, but I got pens and huh? Oh, over at CVS.
Oh, right? It's crazy. I don't understand. Oh my gosh.
The fan is blowing in my direction. Okay, at that point, big. Oh my God, y'all.
Literally, I have like bumps.
Must be nice. I wish.
You got a t-shirt under there?
Yes.
You cozy over there.
No, I have a T-shirt underneath this shirt.
That's what I'm saying, layers.
I don't want no layers. I won't be naked. I'm going home getting naked. They'll be like, "What?"
Do you have a dog today? I don't know what you I did a dog this week.
So, Jerry, you gonna have to.
It's your turn.
It's your.
Buddy.
Are you gonna ask the hard hitting questions? Wait? Is it MAS today?
No. He doesn't.
Oh.
You can ask him about that. Was it the Humane Society that the dog died?
No, it is
Oh,
MAS.
That's the one we has been having. Now when Dr. Fagan's coming today. Oh yeah.
So we actually gonna bring her in here?
Apparently they asked if she can come and Hannah responded because anyway, she responded. Like, yeah, can she do the 6 a.m. show?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was.
Have her in the morning?
Yes.
On Monday?
Like
So I'm
like her
assuming
people.
or
Did you not see the email? Like her people emailed us.
I personally, yeah, think it should be just because it's right. My shift. Right. Not my shift. You know what I mean?
But it's also it's not seeking solutions either. It's about the hiring blitz.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, hopefully we can ask some other stuff. I mean, there's been a lot of.
Oh yeah.
But love that.
I hope she ready.
She's a sharp lady.
She's
always.
I said
ready.
I-
ready. Yeah.
I need us to block out about 5 minutes to talk to her tomorrow on Monday.
Pull a Earl and Andrew. Where to show it.
Don't let's not go there again.
I was so uncomfortable that day. Keep going, 'cause, you know,
We had
Marco
to.
was trying to wrap it. And it's like you can't just cut it.
We literally
It was too good.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Andrew Douglas here at the Action News 5 Digital Desk. It is July 28th, and you're taking a live look at our High 5 camera downtown Memphis. Beautiful start to the day. Sun is shining brightly, 77 degrees at 7 o'clock, but here's the thing, it's going to warm up, and it's going to be kind of like what we expected earlier this week. We've had a nice couple of days, Patrick, where we really haven't had that unbearable heat, but I guess it's returning, huh?
Yeah, the heat's definitely going to be cranking up the next couple of days across the Mid-South. It really starts today. I'll say today is a seasonably hot and humid day. Let's say this is a standard operating procedure day here in the Mid-South when it comes down to the heat and humidity, but it definitely is a difference from yesterday where we had those temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s, and it feels like temperatures are not too far off the baseline because the humidity levels were down, and we had a nice northeast wind to come along with it as well. And for a lot of the day, the clouds were dominant until the sunshine came out, and of course helped to warm us up pretty efficiently at that point. We'll take you to Marshall County this morning. This is a look at I-22 at the Bicycle Road overpass. This is on the west side of Holly Springs to start off the day. Most spots are in the 70s to start off the day. Good morning to our friends in Pemiscot County. Good morning to you in Caruthersville at 76, 75, and Dyer County to start off in Dyersburg, as well as Rowan and New Bern this morning. West Memphis is 74, 72 in Mariana, 75, Clarksdale 72 as you're starting off in Batesville, Como, and Cortland. On our way to the low and mid 90s today. I think more lower 90s this afternoon, mostly to partly sunny, hot and muggy though. You will definitely notice the difference as we go through the course of the day. Chances for rain will be pretty slim across the Mid-South with a south breeze coming in around 5 miles per hour. Of course, that's just helping to filter though the humidity back in off of the Gulf of Mexico. Freedom Fest going on over at West Memphis at Tilden Rogers Park. Hey, not bad, my friends. It's going to be hot, though, so take care of yourself. Make sure you're drinking plenty of hydrating fluids if you're going to be out there later on this evening. Temperatures in the low 90s. We'll go upper 80s by 7, 85 by 9 o'clock this evening. We also have 901 FC. They're in town going up against Phoenix Rising for Pride Night over at AutoZone Park. That kickoff is at 7:30. We also have the Arlington Star Spangled Spectacular that's happening at the Sports Complex up in northeastern Shelby County. I think the weather good there. Again, in similar vein here is what you see in West Memphis is what you'll probably get over in Arlington for this evening. 78 the overnight low temperature, mainly to partly clear sky with warm, muggy conditions continuing to filter in across the area. Low 78 with the south breeze at 5 miles per hour. Hop back over to Crittenden County for Blues Fest tomorrow over at Southland Casino. That kicks off. Gates open at noontime. They will have an air-conditioned tent outside for this. It's going to be hot no matter what. If you, walking through that parking lot over at Southland, if you know, that's a big area, big land area over there, over at the casino. It's going to be a hot one though. Several acts going to be taking the stage there. It's going to be a hot one with temperatures in the mid-90s. Maybe a rogue shower or thunderstorm to bubble up with the daytime heating with the southwest breeze coming in around 10 miles per hour. As far as the First Alert Futurecast is concerned, again, a few pop-up downpours. This is a look ahead to tomorrow afternoon, Saturday at 4 o'clock. And again, a few downpours in a few spots. Otherwise, if you're not seeing a shower or thunderstorm to cool you off, it's going to be sunshine, it's going to be heat, it's going to be humidity. It's all coming together as we head towards your Saturday afternoon and early evening. There will be still a few showers and rumbles of thunder to contend with overnight Saturday into early Sunday. With the front that's on the move, we will have that front sweeping through the area through the afternoon hours of Sunday, kicking up another risk for some widely scattered showers and storms. Again, many spots will stay dry, but there will be some better chances for rain and storms going into your Sunday afternoon and early evening. The clouds will start to clear out. The drier air begins to filter in behind that as winds turn more northerly. Look at Cape Girardeau at 68. Compare that to 71 in Nashville, 73 Jackson, 77 here in Memphis. That's at 1 o'clock in the morning. I think we will ease our way down towards the lower 70s before we start off early Monday morning. Speaking of Monday, we dry things out as well. Get that drier air to filter in here. I think in a similar vein to what we saw yesterday, some morning clouds giving way to sunshine as we head through your Monday, low rain chances, and then the heat really cranks back up as a ridge of high pressure builds right on top of us for Tuesday. Notice as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday, chances for rain will also increase along with some opportunities for the heat to retain itself across the area, but adding in the heat, adding in the humidity, it's going to be noticeable as we head through that time frame. So this is next Wednesday. Here's a look at our First Alert Futurecast. Again, giving way from morning clouds, some sunshine breaks with highs in the mid-90s. There could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Again, we'll put those rain chances like 20 to 30% on your Wednesday. Now, as far as Thursday is concerned, the front's going to get a little bit closer to us. It may not have a lot of success in getting all the way through the Mid-South on 4th of July. I think a lot of the hours may be dry, but that's going to be one of those situations where we're just going to be waiting and seeing how everything plays out going into Thursday, because that front will sag southward. It looks like we may have some staying power of some showers and thunderstorms Thursday evening into Friday of next week. So we'll be watching that closely. Of course, we'll keep you updated, be the first to alert you to any changes. Upon the 7-day, 93 for Friday. We'll go 95 for Saturday. Sunday, again, about a 30 to 40% chance for a shower or thunderstorm. It's not a washout, and I don't want you to think it will be. I think there will be some sunshine. I think there will be some heat and humidity to contend with. Some spots may be able to crest, again, lower 90s after we start off close to 80 degrees that morning. So it's going to be very warm to start and work our way up throughout the course of the day. Lower humidity on the way as we head towards Monday. We'll drop down in the wake of the front to the low 70s, near 90 on Monday. We'll go near upper 60s to low 70s on Tuesday. And, of course, a dry air mass warms more efficiently. That'll happen on Tuesday, back to the middle 90s. And, of course, adding in the humidity Tuesday night into Wednesday, adding in a few isolated showers and storms heading towards the mid-portion of next week. And we'll go ahead and just mention that there could be a few of nature's fireworks for the 4th of July next Thursday.
Want to focus a little bit on that because so many people plan for 4th of July fireworks. Are those Mother Nature fireworks going to be in the evening, mornings? Do we know? Is it too far out?
We're way too far out, but I just showed you the hour-by-hour forecast. It shows a front coming through the area. That's the thing, is that we'll have a front on the move. The question mark is, how far south can it make it starting Wednesday into Thursday? And then ultimately, beyond that, how long does it linger? You know, if I have my druthers about it, I'd say it's going to be leaning more afternoon on Thursday. But even with that being said, right now we're going to hold it at 30%. But I will make the mention that there will be some showers and storms in the region. Maybe not in your backyard, but at least regionally we'll have some opportunities for some rain and storms that day. But very similar to what we'll probably see on Sunday. It's not going to rain all day, nor in every single location, and there will still be sunshine. You know, that's the summery variety type of shower and thunderstorm activity that we're rolling into, of course, as we round out June heading into the beginning of July. So again, this is not a washout, you know, at least at this point in time, but that could change. And of course, we're still 7 days out, but at least giving you a first alert to at least a chance for a few showers and storms that could impact your 4th of July plans. I know the city of Memphis has their stuff at Liberty Park on Wednesday. And there's several other events. Like I said, tonight we've got West Memphis and Arlington. So there's other events that are happening between now and next Thursday. Some of the events may be completely lucky, no problems, and other events may have to tangle with the shower and thunderstorm activity. It just depends on the day that they've been planned out. I think Holly Springs is on Friday of next week. So again, like I said, there's different days, different times, different places. Not everybody's going to be celebrating directly on the 4th of July, it seems like, this year.
Okay, good point there, Patrick, and appreciate the deep dive on the 7-day forecast. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, we've split the screen here so you can see ActionNews5.com's homepage there. You can follow all the top stories that we have for you, including the Memphis Police Department issuing a city watch for a 66-year-old man. The news about David Jones, former Memphis Tiger, inking a two-way deal with the 76ers. And then the Grizzlies trading up to take UConn's Cam Spencer with the 53rd overall pick. By the way, we're going to have the radio play-by-play voice of the Memphis Grizzlies later this morning on Action News 5's digital desk. We're going to be talking with Eric Hasseltine coming up at 10:30 this morning. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Right now, I want to go to one of our top stories on Action News 5, the search for a missing 16-year-old Memphis teen who is now on the run after skipping out on a court appearance. He has been charged and accused in the murder of a Memphis vendor for the past 30 years, known as Red the Watermelon Man. He was killed last year. This teen has been charged in the case. Action News 5's Sydney Gray gives us an update on where the investigation stands now that this 16-year-old teen has skipped out on a court appearance.
Andrew, good morning. District Attorney Steve Mulroy is going to be addressing the media today to talk about the case involving that 16-year-old murder suspect, Demarion Tackett. Now, he should have been in Shelby County Court this past Monday, but he has been on the run since then and now has a warrant out for his arrest. Back in March, he was released on a $100,000 bond. That was just a month after he was transferred from juvenile to adult court. Last year, it was May 15th of last year, investigators say 76-year-old John Materna's life was cut short due to gun violence. Police say that two men in a silver Infiniti shot Materna while trying to rob him as he was selling watermelons in broad daylight. This is something Materna did for many, many years. Well, nearly a year later, the 16-year-old accused shooter was granted bond. Now, the DA's office did not support the judge's decision for that bond. In fact, an ADA, Paul Hagerman, he told us that they tried to raise that bond, but Judge Jennifer Mitchell declined that motion, keeping the lower bond in place. And now that teen remains on the run today. So later this morning, we are expecting to hear from DA Mulroy about the case and other officials like the U.S. Marshals in regard to what is going on as the search continues for this 16-year-old accused of murder. Here in downtown Memphis, Sydney Gray, back to you, Andrew.
Exchange traded funds, or EFTs, reached an important milestone recently. The 30th anniversary of the very first one launched in the U.S., and since then it has grown into a $9 trillion industry with more than 8,000 EFTs in the market globally. We have Allison Bonds now joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk with State Street Global Advisors. That's the firm that launched the very first EFT, widely known as SPY. And I want to ask her first off, good morning, Allison. Tell me exactly what an exchange-traded fund is and how do they work? How are you?
Good morning, Andrew. Well, exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, are a basket of securities. Similar to a mutual fund, they tend to be diversified, but they're also like a stock in that they trade on a stock exchange throughout the day. I like to think of ETFs by breaking down that ETF. So the E stands for efficiency. They tend to be cost efficient. They're considerably less expensive than a mutual fund. They also tend to be tax efficient, meaning that they tend to pay less in cap gains than a mutual fund. The T stands for transparency. You can see all of an ETF's holdings at any time on the issuer's website. And then the F stands for flexibility, meaning that you can trade them throughout the day on the exchange and really respond more quickly to market movement. So I think they represent the best of both worlds, the best of the mutual fund and the best of a stock.
Is that why they are so popular these days?
They've become so popular. As you mentioned, we are celebrating, believe it or not, the 30th anniversary of the first exchange traded fund in the United States, SPY, ticker SPY. And today they have really revolutionized and in some cases democratized the way that people invest. The reason that I say that is because it doesn't matter how big of an investor you are. My great aunt Melody in Cincinnati, Ohio, can invest in the same investment strategies at the same cost as Warren Buffett with an ETF. And there's really a couple of reasons why they've become so popular. The first one, I believe, is that more and more investors are realizing how hard it can be to invest in single stocks. Last year was a perfect example. We saw everything from blue chip names to tech stocks being down. And then I also think that more and more investors are realizing how hard it can be to find mutual funds that outperform in any given year, much less find one that can outperform consistently over the long term.
So, Allison, we have thousands of people that are watching right now. If someone is watching and this is the first time they're hearing about these kinds of funds, what is a good way for them to get started in it?
Well, the first thing that I would recommend is to know your objective before you buy an ETF. There are now more than 8,000 exchange-traded funds on the market, which is wonderful, but it can also be overwhelming. So you really want to do your homework, know what you own, what is the underlying exposure in the ETF. You also want to know what you're paying. Look at the expense ratio. Look for low-cost exchange-traded funds. And then also perhaps consider working with a financial advisor. They could help you make more informed decisions. Many advisors will meet with you at no cost to really understand your objectives and goals.
Any place online where people can go to get more information?
Absolutely. You can go to our website, ssga.com. There you'll find up-to-the-minute information on the exchange-traded funds, as well as how they can fit into a broader portfolio.
Okay, Allison Bonds with State Street Global Advisors talking about ETFs. Allison, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. For many families out there, summer's already begun, and the kids are getting ready to leave school. For many of them, they're already out of school, and so the kids are done for this school year. It's summer vacation time, and they're going to be spending a lot of time home. Perhaps there's going to be some summer camps they go to, maybe some summer vacation plans, but for the most part, they're going to be home a lot more. And unfortunately, a lot of times, kids are going to be on screens, whether it's their phone, iPad, computer, and social media these days are certainly a part of that. And that can be so detrimental to a child growing up in this ever-connected world. Let's bring in someone to really help us through all that. Stephanie Cole-Ferris is a clinical services program manager, crisis and case management with Youth Villages. Stephanie, I'm glad to have you on the digital desk. This is a topic that is so important to discuss. Let's first talk about the best practices and the best methods to make sure that kids do anything but social media. We know they're going to get on social media this summer, but are there ways to keep them off it as much as possible? Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, there are some ways that families can really plan to set their kids up for activities that are off-screen activities over the summer. Some of those steps include encouraging setting up a summer schedule so that things are kind of laid out as to what to expect and what is planned for the summer. And that can include including kids with their ideas and really inviting their input into what that schedule looks like so that we can get some buy-in from the young person. The other thing is really taking that time to explore the possibility of new hobbies or revisiting hobbies that the child or the teenager may have once been involved in. Those can be things like photography or gardening or any sort of outdoor recreation activities that the young person may want to do or want to try out, for the first time. I think certainly with those types of things, if the parent can model being active in hobbies and having other things that they're involved in as well, in place of always being on the screen, that makes a huge difference. And in addition to that, really keeping in mind that it is super important that we remember how important social media is to the young person on that side, so that if that social interaction is what they're getting from the social media, that we then look to explore what are some social activities that the young person can be involved in the summer to have that face-to-face time with their peers. Research really does show that we and teenagers need that face-to-face time in order to develop and grow their social skills and be able to practice interactions in safer settings before they get out into the greater world and into adulthood. And so certainly being able to make that a family effort and encouraging their input is one of the ways that you can increase the likelihood that they are going to be involved in in-person things and that they're going to want to do that. One additional cool way that you can try to kind of build this up for them and get them interested and get their energy going is to create challenges around non-screen time activities. And so you may set up a challenge around some things that they can do off the screen. And if they meet those challenges, then maybe they're able to do some special things because of that, right? And so that can really get the motivation going, especially if you have a teenager who is like, I really don't want to do that. I'd rather be over here, interacting with my friends on this platform or in this video game or something like that. So that can really make the difference there. I think that, ultimately, the priority is how can we make it about we and not just something we're talking to the kid or talking at the child about, so that they feel like they really do have some input and still have some freedom, even if they are not on their devices.
That's a good point. And, I have two kids that are now in college and when they were growing up and certainly the screens and social media were certainly very prevalent. Like you just said, you have to set limits. You have to set restrictions. Otherwise they could be on there all day long. But what we tried to do is some of the things that you suggested, find something that you could do outside, do alternative things. One of the things, sometimes that can get kind of pricey. Everyone's trying to watch the bottom line and you want to stay on a budget as much as possible. But something as simple as, playing miniature golf, which really doesn't cost that much, can get them outside and there's a little bit of competition and it can be kind of fun. What else? What else can we talk about to help some of those parents out there, Stephanie?
So if we're looking at things that are cost friendly, there are so many parks available in and around the area, which certainly are free services where we can go and we can take different things that the family or the teenager or child may like to do. Sometimes they like to throw the frisbee or maybe bring a football or even participate in some tennis or something like that. And there's a lot of those parks have playgrounds and things like that that do offer some kind of fun physical things to do for our younger kiddos. And so certainly there are opportunities even in one's own backyard where you can put some things together. You might make a little fun obstacle course for the kids to go through with some, fun prizes or something at the end, just to kind of boost that interest in that and get that energy and momentum going as you're trying to go in and transition them and help them balance out their time on screen or on device with how much time they have in person. Just having fun, right? Being a child, being a teenager, being outdoors, like learning and feeling that can be fun and that can be entertaining as well.
At Youth Villages, Stephanie, can you talk a little bit about some of the detrimental things that can happen to kids that spend way too much time on those screens and with social media?
Sure. And so just kind of leading into that, I think it's important to keep in mind and to know how much time our kids are really spending on social media. And what the research shows at this point is it's between 3.5 to 5 hours a day on social media. And certainly there are some that may spend more and a few that may spend less as well. But on average, it's between 3.5 to 5 hours a day. And so as a result of that, there are some problematic things that can occur. Some of those include a distorted reality and self-perception. Oftentimes they're comparing themselves against digitally enhanced images or, formally edited images that are not realistic. And so that then in turn ends up being internalized. And it can really, in extreme cases, lead to eating disorders, possibly. Because we do see that in extreme cases. The other thing is a risk of harassment and victimization through some of the social platforms. If our child or if the children are given a lot of distance and a lot of space with their social media, sometimes predators will take advantage of that and they will try to pull that child in for negative reasons, which, it can include sexual abuse and other forms of abuse. And then so they use the platform as sort of a doorway or a window to get that started. And so that's also something else to keep in mind because it can increase that danger. The other thing that we see a lot of is poor or delayed communication and relational skills because there is less in-person time with their family and their friends. And so similar to what we're talking about with the summertime, where we're really wanting to help figure out how do we promote a balance and how do we invite them and their ideas and make this all work and make it successful. Being on their screen so much limits how much practice that they get on a daily basis in person to really learn how to navigate not only basic communication and starting friendships and maintaining friendships, but some of those more challenging things, the more challenging conversations to navigate. And so that's, really important to keep in mind in terms of how it's impacting your child's social skills and their ability to navigate some of those things. And then the other thing I want to mention or kind of close with in that idea is that we do see kids that lose a lot of sleep because they're on social media, that have a lower attention span, difficulties concentrating. And also sometimes it's associated with physically being unhealthy because the more you're on your device, normally the more sedentary you are, you're not moving around, you're not getting some of that good physical movement, both for your emotional needs as well as your physical needs.
You know, it's an interesting conversation, and certainly one that needs to continue across homes all across not only the Mid-South but across the country. Final thing, Stephanie, if some parents are watching right now, we have thousands of people who watch us on the digital desk. If they agree with everything you're saying and they understand and they're with us 100%. Where can they begin? Is there a website that maybe they can look at, or maybe kind of get some ideas of certain guidelines, certain ideas with regards to what we're talking about?
Sure. So the Department of Health and Human Services and the Surgeon General Advisory Board do put out information that speaks to and kind of lays out what we need to know about the impact of social media based on the research that's been done up to this point. Also, what some of the detrimental effects of social media are, as well as what some of the advantages of social media can be if we have certain steps in place as families and as parents to be able to track and monitor and really know what's going on there. There are also some ideas on that website for activities and things to consider. Some of the things I mentioned today are laid out on that website as well. And they're often updating that and putting new research there and just some sort of new ideas on how parents can impact what their child does on social media, as well as how parents and families can impact getting their child excited about in-person activities and being off of their device.
Stephanie Cole-Ferris, we appreciate your time this morning. Great conversation. It's certainly useful for so many families out there. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Douglas here at the Action News 5 digital desk. Each year, approximately 18,000 people in the U.S. are diagnosed with blood cancers, where bone marrow or stem cell transplantation from a matched donor is their best treatment option. However, around 50 to 80% of those transplant recipients develop graft versus host disease. It's also known as GVHD. It's a life-threatening condition that may occur following transplantation. So in honor of National Bone Marrow Awareness Month, joining us now to discuss her experience with this, as well as her doctor, is Barbara and her doctor, Hugo Fernandez. They're joining us to talk about this very issue. Good morning to both of you. How are you this morning?
Good morning. We're very well, thank you.
Thank you. Let's begin with you, Dr. Fernandez. So it's National Marrow Awareness Month. Can you tell us what we need to know about bone marrow specifically and stem cell transplantation?
So this is a curative option for these blood diseases. When one looks at these, you're eradicating the disease with the treatment, but you're also providing a new immune system for these patients. Unfortunately, they can develop both acute and chronic GVHD, the acute occurring in the first 100 days, and thereafter the chronic, which is a little different and produces more organ and tissue damage.
Okay, I got to be honest with you. I've never heard about graft versus host disease, GVHD, and can you tell us a little bit about that and its impact on you and others?
Sure. In the post-transplant setting, we can have actually the tissues and organs attacked by the inflammation caused by the cells from the donor. It can lead to problems with rashes, diarrhea, and liver damage in the first few months, and thereafter with other organ damage with dry eyes, mouth, tightness in the joints and skin, and gastrointestinal issues. It's important to get these symptoms to be acknowledged and dealt with, and that's why we partner with Insight in order to be able to make people aware of these issues that can happen after transplantation.
So Barbara, over to you. I appreciate you joining us. Just, if you will, just kind of share your experience. Tell us exactly what it was like and what you would like to say about not only your transplant, bone marrow transplant, but GVHD.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot to unpack. I was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer and had a variety of treatments, which ultimately failed to work. So my healthcare team referred me for a bone marrow transplant, which gave me a second chance at life. But then I began having symptoms of acute GVHD, which turned into chronic GVHD with gastrointestinal symptoms, dry eyes, severe dry mouth, which has resulted in some serious dental issues, and skin GVHD. So it's kind of, it can be frustrating, kind of overwhelming. I think at times I have to plan my life around the symptoms. It's kind of like a whack-a-mole in that as we manage one symptom, another one just seems to pop right up.
And Barbara, what did you learn through this process? I mean, if that you could share with others.
I think that what's so important is to work closely with your healthcare team, find a team that you trust, and then let them know about any changes, no matter how small, so that they can get working on it right away, develop a plan for you that's specific for the patient. You can monitor symptoms by using the website gvhdnow.com and be able to more effectively communicate with your team.
Dr. Fernandez, you treated Barbara in all this. Can you tell us about her challenges, how she was able to overcome it, and perhaps helping some people that are watching right now?
So we have a saying in transplantation that when you've seen one transplant, you've seen one transplant. Everybody's a little bit different in how they present with these symptoms. And what Barbara did was let us be aware of those symptoms very early on. We addressed it with medications, and those medications vary from patient to patient of how you're going to treat it. But we addressed those and dealt with that. And as other things developed, particularly from the graft versus host disease, we've added on medications to help treat her as best possible. But early detection, getting the information like at gvhdnow.com is extremely important, so you can share that with your team.
Okay, I open it up to both of you right now. Anything else you want to mention to our viewers that might be able to help? You just mentioned a website, Doctor. Is there anything else you want to mention just to help our viewers watching right now?
Well, as Barbara and I have had this very long relationship, this is a lifetime process. You're always going to be in contact with your medical team, and it's a partnership. And I think that's extremely important that we work together to develop a plan for the best care possible.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that.
Did you want to say anything, Barbara, before we let you go?
Just I think that, patients should know that they need to speak up, that they need to advocate if there's something going on. Like your healthcare team should be, the first call, and finding a support system for yourself, your family, your friends, educating people about what GVHD is, because it's, people see transplant as a cure, which it is, but then to have symptoms crop up later on can be difficult to manage emotionally, so you really need that strong support system.
Absolutely. You hear that from so many different survivors out there, how support, positivity those reinforcements really help through this kind of process. Barbara, thank you very much for sharing your journey and your story. And Dr. Hugo Fernandez, we appreciate you and your insight this morning. Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, worker shortfall has emerged as one of those key factors in driving persistent inflation in this country, along with higher interest rates. Now, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and business leaders believe securing our borders and modernizing our immigration system can help confront these challenges. Let's talk more about it with Neil Bradley. He's the Executive Vice President and Chief Policy Officer, Head of Strategic Advocacy at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Neil, good morning. How is the worker shortage affecting businesses?
Well, good morning, Andrew. It's great to be with you. So let's take Tennessee, for example. Today, when you go out and you see one of those help wanted signs, and they are all over the place, the reality is that for every 100 of those signs in Tennessee, there are only 57 people looking for work. So even if we can match everyone looking for work with an open job, we have no way of meeting the demand. What that means is that businesses can't meet the demands of their customers. If you happen to be a construction company or a landscaping company, these are prime summer months to get work done, except you don't have the workers. We have restaurants that can't fully reopen because they don't have the staff to fully open their dining facilities. So whether it's healthcare, manufacturing, literally every sector of our economy, we have more demand than we have the ability to meet it because we just don't have enough workers.
Where did all of them go, Neil?
Well, you know, part of it's demographic. So we're in the midst of the baby boom retirement. So every day, millions of baby boomers retire. That's wonderful. They deserve to relax and to enjoy their retirement. But the generations that are coming along behind aren't as big. And so if we don't have a working legal immigration system welcoming the people who want to come here, who want to become part of our society, who want to work and contribute, then there's no way to match the demand that we have with the availability of labor. And so that's why we formed a coalition, business organizations from across the United States, including there in Tennessee, agricultural, manufacturing, retail, all saying, let's do something to fix the southern border, let's secure the border, but let's also welcome people who want to come here legally.
So let's talk about some of the solutions the U.S. Chamber is offering with this situation that you just described.
So let's talk about people who graduate college. We just celebrated the college graduation all across the United States. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people come from around the world. They study in our universities. They pay full cost of tuition. They sit next to our sons and daughters, our neighbors and friends. When most of them graduate, they want to stay here. They want to build a life in America. But today, we tell 90% of them, thanks, but no thanks. You know who's welcoming them with open arms? Canada and Australia and the United Kingdom. Or take construction or landscaping, some of the hard work of the summer. Every year, businesses apply for the opportunity to take advantage of it and use seasonal labor to help meet their needs. But it comes down to winning a lottery. You have a 1 in 4 chance of your business being chosen to get the workers that you need. That's just a fundamentally broken system. And because it's outdated, I don't know about you, but I do not drive a 40-year-old car to work every day. I drive a more modern car that actually works and runs. But today we're asking American business to run on a 40-year-old antiquated immigration system, and we're all paying the price for it.
Okay, so tell me what modernization of the immigration system looks like according to the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, it does mean securing the border. So, for example, someone who crosses today who's getting a court date for 2035, that's unacceptable. We can secure that border. We can process those who are crossing illegally much more quickly. On the legal side, it means updating the numbers. You shouldn't have to win the lottery to be able to meet your workforce demands. And so we can update the numbers of the individuals who are allowed to come here legally. We can take those college graduates and say, hey, that's great. You've already established ties here. We're going to let you remain. That's what a modern legal immigration system looks like. And it'll mean whether we're talking about retail or construction or high-skilled data programmers, we'll have the workers that we need to help keep our economy growing and tame inflation.
Tell me what the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is doing to help secure the border and come up with these new modern pro-growth immigration ideas, because right now, by all accounts, bipartisan accounts, that the border is just out of control.
It is. And, the thing is that the only place that can fix this is Washington, D.C. And it's going to take Congress. And so what the U.S. Chamber is doing is we're leading a nationwide coalition. Every state in the union, including the great state of Tennessee, business groups coming together and saying, the only thing that's unacceptable is more inaction. So we're calling on Congress to put the resources to secure the southern border, physical barriers, enforcement, making sure that people have appropriate court dates that are timely. And we're also saying, at the same time, fix the broken legal immigration system, update those numbers. And so really only Congress can fix this. And that's why we're trying to urge the American people, urge businesses to remember, these elected officials, they work for us. And if we have problems that we need them to fix, we need to demand that they fix them.
We're at the end of our interview here, Neil, but where can people go for more information?
Well, folks can go to callingforliberty.org. That's callingforliberty.org to learn more about this effort, or you can always go to uschamber.com. Thanks for allowing me to spend a little time with you today.
Okay, Neil Bradley, Executive Vice President, Chief Policy Officer, and Head of Strategic Advocacy for U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Appreciate the discussion, Neil. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
You know, there are so many job seekers out there trying to navigate this market. There's all kinds of different things. There's fears of recession, there's inflation, all kinds of different concerns. Well, there is now an artificial intelligence, an AI-powered career tool that Google says it is helping job seekers out there. Let's bring in Andrea Willis, Google technology expert, to talk more about this AI-powered tool. Good morning, Andrea. Let's talk about this tool and what exactly it does. How are you?
Doing well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. So tell me about this tool. What is it?
Yeah, so just like you said, we are seeing on Google search that so many people are looking to change jobs right now. So can I change jobs is actually at a 5-year high at the moment in search. And so we have a number of tools to help people do that. So you mentioned AI. The first tool that we have is called Interview Warmup, and it uses machine learning to help people practice their interview responses. So the tool has a list of commonly asked questions that we have run by industry experts. You answer those questions out loud, and AI actually records those responses, saves them for you privately, transcribes them for you, and also helps detect common things in your answers. So whether you're repeating certain words, key themes. And so it's a really great way to practice being interview ready in a comfortable setting.
Tell me how many, or what is the specific job, or is there a field that people are most interested in right now?
Yes. So there are a number of things that people are searching for. We're seeing that people are really interested in becoming data analysts. So that was the top how to become over the past year. People are really interested in how do I get into real estate? How do I become, a medical assistant or a notary? So those are just a few of the kind of top searches we're seeing right now.
Okay, and a lot of people go to Google to see if they have the right kind of skills, ways to earn extra money, even with side hustles. And those AI tools that you're talking about that Google has, can that help with like the interview process as well? I mean, give me the comprehensive look.
It can help with the interview process as well. So first, we have a great training program that we recommend for people who are looking to get in-demand skills. It's called the Google Career Certificates Program. It can equip you with job-ready skills in 3 to 6 months for in-demand careers like data analytics, cybersecurity, IT support, etc. And then when you are really looking into the job search process, we recommend Bard. It's our generative AI tool, and it helps by helping you craft resumes, cover letters, emails back to employers, whether you're thanking them for an interview or negotiating. You just go to the tool, and for instance, you could say, help me write a cover letter for a data analyst position, or help me improve my resume, and it'll help you do just that.
Okay, Andrea Willis, Google technology expert. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for telling us about this AI career tool that is available. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Andrew Douglas here in the Action News 5 digital desk. When was the last time you went to a park in the state of Arkansas? They have such a diverse array of natural wonders there. 52 state parks covering more than 54,000 acres, 1,800 campsites, 208 cabins, 5 lodges, and more than 8 million visitors go each and every year, and families get to immerse themselves in all kinds of things in the natural state. I'm joined right now by Jason Perry. He's the park ranger at DeGray Lake Resort State Park. Jason, good morning to you. Tell us where the park is and the uniqueness of that area. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Thank you for having me on. I am right here at DeGray Lake Resort State Park in beautiful Bismarck, Arkansas. You can see our crystal clear lake right behind me. We're here in Southwest Arkansas and happy to be talking with you this morning.
I love it. I love it. I love Arkansas, the parks, and the beauty of the state. Such a array of different kinds of areas and landscapes, hot springs, Ozarks, I should say. Tell me about families this year. What can they expect, Jason?
Well, Andrew, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said we are diverse. This is a compact state with a ton of unique features here. We've got mountains, rivers, lakes, diamond mines, hot springs, you name it. There's a ton of stuff. And the cool thing is, it's all pretty close together. Again, the state's pretty compact. So there's lots of things right next to each other. If you want to spend your whole vacation here at DeGray, we'd love to have you. There's plenty of stuff for you to do for your entire vacation. If you want to spread it out a little bit, we've got plenty of locations all around the state where you can spend a day here or a couple days there and get just unique, different experiences all throughout the state. So really, the state itself kind of becomes your vacation destination. And the cool thing about all the diverse activities are it's family friendly. There are things for the little ones. There are things for the adventure bound. There are things for the folks that might be a little bit older, our seniors. Plenty of things, high adventure to just out and relaxation.
We're in Memphis here at WMC Action News 5. So we broadcast to North Mississippi, Eastern Arkansas, West Tennessee. And I know that a lot of our audience loves to go and travel through the state of Arkansas. Any recommended itineraries for trips for families this spring and summer?
Yeah, well, for sure. And kind of where I would direct you is to our website, arkansasstateparks.com. That website will kind of direct you, kind of help you plan your vacation, right? So you can plan it by actual specific parks or by the activities that you'd like to do, whether you want to be hiking or fishing or swimming, biking, that sort of thing, or by the kind of geographic region that you want to be in. You want to be in a river or a lake or a mountain type park, or by the accommodations. So maybe you want to stay at a lodge, or you want to be camping, or you want to be in a yurt, that sort of thing. ArkansasStateParks.com will help direct your vacation. If you're coming from Memphis, though, you're going to be passing through. As you come into Arkansas, you're going to pass right by Village Creek State Park. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about the Ridges at Village Creek, which is a 27-hole championship golf course. It's one of the top-rated courses in the state, public courses in the state, and an adventure. It is really a sight to behold. So if you're coming from Memphis, for sure, I would send you to Village Creek State Park and stop by. And if nothing else, just check out the golf course.
Excellent, excellent. Tell me a little bit more about DeGray Lake Resort State Park, where you are.
So DeGray kind of reminds me of Arkansas State Parks in microcosm, right? Because there's a lot of stuff to do here. It's a lake park, that's the main thing, but we're also kind of nestled in the kind of the southeastern corner of the Ouachita Mountains. So we have some mountain-like opportunities here. We've got 30 plus miles of really professional mountain biking trails. There's hiking trails right here within the park. Of course, there's horseback riding here. We've got tennis courts. We have our own 18-hole championship golf course. We've got disc golf, a full-service marina, which will help you with fishing, kayaking, boating, all those things, all right here in the park.
I know that DeGray Lake Resort State Park is near and dear to your heart, Jason, but if you had a chance to perhaps go to another park, one of your favorites out there, which would it be?
So I would send folks to Petit-Jean State Park. Petit-Jean State Park, again, has those variety of opportunities, but man, it's got a CCC era lodge that overlooks Cedar Falls Canyon. So you've got this big iconic canyon with a 90-foot waterfall, really cool looking. There's sweet trails, there's mountain bike trails. There's some cool bouldering. You have a chance to get a little bit of archaeology. There's examples of Native American rock art that you can access. And one of the coolest places that I like to go there is they call it Turtle Rock. There's some rock formations that the pattern on the rocks, these rounded rocks, looks like the shell of a turtle. So it looks like a whole field of these big giant stone turtles. Great to run around and play on. It's really, again, a fascinating park.
I love it. And one more time, Jason, tell our viewers, we have thousands that join us each and every morning here on the Digital Desk, where they can go to get information on all the Arkansas State Parks.
Online is going to be the place to go, arkansasstateparks.com. Again, it's going to tell you by accommodation, it's going to tell you by activity, by park specific, or by geographic region, river, lake, mountain, that sort of thing. There's a feature that will kind of help you plan your vacation based on the input that you give it. So arkansasstateparks.com online, they'll take care of you.
All right, Jason Perry, park ranger at DeGray Lake Resort State Park in Arkansas. Thank you so much. Enjoy the spring and summer months, Jason. We appreciate it.
Andrew, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We are always trying to be healthier, trying to figure out ways to have that optimal health so we can lead the longest possible best life we can lead. And certainly one of those ways to get healthier is move. You got to move. You got to exercise and make sure you eat right, all those things. Let's bring in someone to kind of help us have a healthier 901. Dietitian Leslie Eli back with us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Leslie, where do we start with people that want to try and move more, exercise more? It's super hot outside sometimes, many times throughout the summer months here in Memphis and the Mid-South. So where do we begin? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we just think about starting small. You don't have to get out there and run a marathon, especially when it's this hot outside. So what can you do inside? Can we, do some kitchen dancing with our kids? Can we go up and down the stairs a couple extra times during the day to put away laundry and whatnot? Can we use some of the weights that we have in our pantry? Can we use some cans and do some extra weightlifting? So just starting small and kind of making a step in that direction.
Okay, and can you give us some examples?
So one of the things that I like to do is park a little bit further away at the grocery store too. So you're already there. You're not going out of your way. You're just kind of putting yourself in a different position. We can, at my house, our favorite thing to do is, ask Alexa to put on one of our favorite songs, and we all stop and we dance around the kitchen. We do red light, green light, and everyone's involved. So my kids are seeing that, movement's important for us too. If you're outside with the dog, maybe running around when we're chasing that ball instead of sitting down. So just little things that are getting us up on our feet instead of, stationary.
Okay, I like that. What about various places to go, perhaps having a community? So many people out there, they feel like they're more active, they're more energetic if they have a community to be a part of getting healthier, right?
Yeah, sure. So if you're like me, I'm not into like the big gym type setting. So if you want something quick and easy where you might be able to be held accountable, but also get some like on-demand classes, the Healthier 901 app, they have challenges. I was just on there yesterday. I saw a 10,000 steps challenge, but also like on-demand classes that you could do right at your house. So also just, easier than saying, I'm going to leave and go to the gym. But if you are a person that likes to go to the gym and work out with friends or coworkers, the Healthier 901 app can also maybe get you plugged into some of those gyms at a discounted rate. So check those out and see if there's any that might interest you there.
Okay, and then, there's so many great parks across Tennessee, Mississippi, Eastern Arkansas, so many great places to go out and enjoy nature. And we know that helps on a number of different levels, mental health, physical health as well.
Right. Just getting out there in nature, going to the park, walking on our green lines, greenways, taking the kids to the park. Definitely not only great for your physical health, but your mental well being, just kind of helping reduce your stress. So, not only is movement good for helping with things like blood pressure and fighting off our risk for long-term health effects, but just mentally, just having a break and having a pause, it can always help.
Tell me about the physical activity challenge with Methodist and Healthier 901.
Yeah, so Healthier 901's our big push for weight loss in the Mid-South. But like I always like to say, if that's not what you are looking for right now, it's still a great way to get plugged in for those healthier challenges. Like I said, there's a 10,000 steps that I saw yesterday that I said, hey, I think I can do that. Just kind of getting you plugged into different activities that might help make you physically stronger or, just help reduce that stress and overall well-being if weight loss isn't really your goal right now.
Leslie Ely, we appreciate you and all of the tips here on Action News 5's Digital Desk. Thank you so much. Happy summer to you.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you. Back in 60 seconds on Action News 5's Digital Desk. News 5 Digital Desk. A recent study showed that 72% of men would rather do household chores than go see a doctor. That is concerning information. Of course, we always talk about being healthy, ways to get healthier, and right now there's a focus on men's health and ways to make sure that we are always on the cutting edge of ways to live healthy and be healthier. And there are some warning signs that men should never, ever ignore. Let's talk more about this with Dr. Harold Barron. He's with Dedicated Senior Medical Center. He joins us on the Digital Desk. So, Dr. Barron, good morning to you. Tell us about the 3 warning signs that men should not ignore. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. The 3 warning signs men should not ignore. The first one is chest pain or chest discomfort. Any feeling of tightness or pressure or pain in the chest could indicate a major problem. Another kind of chest pain I want people to be aware of is the kind when maybe you're walking up some stairs, maybe you're cutting grass and you feel some chest pain that gets better when you rest. That's something you need to talk to your doctor again. Warning sign number 2, any trouble breathing. So trouble breathing could indicate something, asthma. It also could indicate something more major like heart failure. Third warning sign, loss of appetite or weight loss that you can't explain, which could indicate you need to have a conversation with your doctor.
Those are all great warning signs covering, I'm sure, a myriad of issues there that may be causing those issues. Do you recommend an annual physical for all men out there? What do you think?
I would recommend more than an annual physical, but the first thing I would recommend would be an annual physical. Men, we don't like to go to the doctor. We like to feel like we're invincible. Like we like to feel like whatever the problem is just going to go away. So an annual physical would be a way for a man to come in and have a conversation and to build a relationship with a doctor so that there becomes some trust there. So yes.
Okay, you said more than an annual physical. What did you mean?
Well, my patients are senior citizens and typically have more health concerns than younger folks. So having a relationship with a doctor where they're having consistent appointments, where they build some trust, where they're coming in a little more often than a year would be advised, so that things can be caught early, so that screenings can all be performed, and that we can make differences in their lives by improving their health.
Right. So those screenings that determine based upon this age you should have this screening, that sort of thing. I get that. Those are always good. Let's talk about mental health, because there's more prominence, there's more of a focus on mental health these days. Are there red flags when it comes to mental health, or maybe a checklist?
Well, I think mental health comes down to how the person's feeling. A lot of times men specifically don't like to discuss it. There's a bit of a stigma. It could be embarrassing to discuss mental health issues, depression or anxiety, things that are bothering them. The embarrassment is certainly real. They're worried that maybe it can't be fixed. So we typically will try to see patients build some trust, build a relationship, have open conversations that make somebody comfortable enough to, maybe not the first visit, but maybe the second visit, be open enough to trust the doctor and discuss these things.
What else can we talk about when it comes to men's health? What we're overlooking, maybe some common mistakes out there?
I think that a common mistake is not going to the doctor when you know something's going on, or not making your health a priority. There's probably a man in your life, or a father, or a brother, or a boyfriend, or husband, or child who is not taking their health seriously, and that they need to. I think the best thing to do is get to the reasons why they might want to do that. Don't tell them anymore to do this. Stop telling them to do it. Maybe get to the reasons why they might want to do it. And if you're a man out there, get to the reason why. Do you want to be around longer? Do you want to be healthier? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to have more good days with your family?
I also think family history is so vital and so important when it comes to visiting the doctor, right? Can you speak on that?
Absolutely. And that's something your doctor should be speaking with you about. And those are questions that you should be hearing and answering from your doctor. Having family histories of different type of cancer certainly is a risk factor for you developing that kind of cancer. People having a family history of diabetes means you need to be screened for diabetes.
All right, Dr. Harold Barron, we appreciate your time this morning. Vital tips, valuable information for all the men out there, including the 3 warning signs that men should not ignore: chest pain, trouble breathing, loss of appetite, loss of weight. We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.